Hey guys, I made it to the east coast of Florida, well, it's a couple hours from where I live on the west coast of Florida, but I'm here for Toyota and Lexus. I'm driving quite a few models. If you see over there's a Trailhunter, Tacoma, IS 500, there's the RX 500H, and what we have here is the RZ front wheel drive. There's a cool plane landing right there. Specifically for our market, this is the first electric vehicle. Now there's a UX 300E for other markets, especially in Europe, for example. It's also in Asia, but this was our first dip into fully electric. Now Lexus still envisions the company to be fully battery electric by 2030. Now this was introduced four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. However, for 2024, you can see right here, and for 2025, there's this RZ 300E, which takes the motor from the BZ4X, the front wheel drive variant of the BZ4X, and it gives us about 201 horsepower. But what that does is actually increase the range here, since we don't have an extra motor in the back powering the rear wheel. So we're gonna take this for a spin today, but we're really gonna focus on the big revelation that happened for the 2025 model year. And man, this copper crest, even this cloudy weather, is looking incredible. Let me know what you guys think of the two-tone. I don't think it's terrible. It looks better than the Crown two-tone. But I know I'm all over the place. I'm really excited. But for 2025, they have a new base trim for the RZ 300E. And that brings the price down to around $43,000 or so dollars, and that's before the EV tax credit. No, this doesn't qualify for the EV tax credit if you purchase, but it does if you lease. Well, at least for now. Legislation with a new president could change that, but for now, front-wheel drive RZ 300E is going to be more affordable than possibly even a front-wheel drive base XLE BZ4X. Yes, that's not a typo. I believe the Lexus RZ front-wheel drive can be had for less money than like a Toyota BZ4X. Now they're built in the Motomachi Plant together in Japan. So let's get in line. The base model, this is not it. This is a luxury. This is a complete opposite, but I'm going to try to portray what that base model is going to give you guys today. All right, lots of cargo space. We have this little tonneau cover here. I don't believe we have a spare tire. And this is nice, because in the all-wheel drive model, you don't have this sort of space, I don't remember, underneath the floor. All right, so that's nice for the front-wheel drive model. 25 model RZ also comes with this nice, I think it's called like Thundercloud. I'll fact check myself, but these suede seats are on this luxury. They're going to be more of the new Lexus synthetic leather on the other trims, but even on the base, you can still get this color combination. It's just not going to be all sueded out like it is here on this luxury trim. Now this luxury also has this, what do they call it here in Lexus, a Stargazer or the Dynamic Sky? One of the two. But if I go ahead and press this, of course, you're not going to have this on the base trim, but I just got to show off some of the cool features here on this luxury. Now, the base trim will have a flat floor here. It might actually have a plug-in in the back. It's probably going to have USB-Cs back there. Don't expect heated seats on that base trim, but you'll get some nice vents back there. Headroom, no problem. Now, the base trim will have, of course, I'm going to say it's probably just going to have a normal sunroof or no roof at all, or should I say no glass on the roof, just a standard metal sheet up there. All right, but man, the materials back here, super nice on the RZ. Closing the door, getting in. Yes, this has the digital latch that debuted on the new NX, for example. You also have it on the RX over there, where there's a button that opens the door. And you can physically override it by pulling that twice. You have auto folding mirrors on this model. You're also going to have like a puddle lamp there, but yeah, let's get into the front seat. You know, memory seats on this luxury. We have a head-up display, which is not going to be on that base model, but that's fine, because I can pass on this head-up display with these buttons, these customizable buttons. It's kind of cool, the head-up display, but it's not the most functional, and I prefer functionality over coolness any day of the week. All right, we still have this really old, outdated screen here. Hopefully for 2025 that gets replaced with the 12-inch screen. I'll fact check myself. I don't have the press release memorized for 2025 on the RZ, but this is looking really, really old, out of place, low resolution compared to this massive 14-inch screen. Let me go ahead, and you see it blinking on your screen. Here's a little trick. If you just crank up the brightness, it goes away. So there you have it. I also like the dark theme. I think it looks a little bit cleaner, but now it's kind of blinking for you guys, so maybe we'll just go back to automatic. There you go. All right, so the 14-inch screen, 12 is dedicated to you know, the built-in software, where the bottom 2 inches is dedicated to climate control. You have heated, well, not only heated seats, but you see this ambient heater, which is going to heat the bottom here and radiate heat at the bottom of the steering wheel column as well. And you have all these USB-Cs here. You're not going to have these on the base model, which is a parking assist and 360 camera. Go ahead and press that. Actually, it's just easier to put it into reverse. And there you go, you can see the top-down camera. And then like an old Prius, you have this annoying beep for reverse. Unfortunately, I don't know why it's there, but yeah, it is what it is. All right, wireless charger in here, nice materials around the shifter. And oh yeah, and since you have this heater here, you do not have a glove box over there. All right, vents here on top, which I quite like, because what is in the NX and the RX, for example, the vents are below this large touchscreen, so this is actually a much better face level vent system here. Look at this one's real high too, so I like that setup. Man, I really like this interior, and I know that base model is going to be very similar, just without the suede. So there we go. I think I got you guys locked and loaded there on the camera. And the base RZ 300E that costs in the 40s is going to drive identical to this. I don't believe there's any suspension benefits here. You're going to have the same leather, well, faux leather wrapped steering wheel. Even though this is a fake leather wrapped steering wheel, it has such a unique feel to it. It doesn't feel cheap. It feels very smooth, very soft, not quite maybe as sticky as leather, but it feels good. It almost feels like, I don't know, if sealskin, I've never touched sealskin, but it feels like a sealskin steering wheel. All right, so this is going to be excellent for me to tell you what this is like to drive. Now, I've driven another EV this week, put a lot of miles on it, and that was a new Equinox EV. I know it's not a luxury EV, but it'll put things into perspective, all right? If you guys have never driven a car before that is fully electric, well, Toyota and Lexus make sure that their cars are very seamless. It feels like driving like a Toyota, any other Toyota or Lexus, honestly, except when you push the pedal all the way down, you get it immediate. And that's something that the Chevy Equinox kind of doled out a little bit. It didn't have the most punchy response that you expect from an electric vehicle. We'll see if this is more responsive here in a second, but just at low speed maneuvers, and I'm just in normal mode. So if I go to vehicle here, there's different driving modes. Actually, it's in eco mode. Let's go ahead and just go to normal. All right. And the brake feel, the brake response is excellent. No weird brake feel, because sometimes with electric cars, you get a weird lurch, and some of them kind of slam on the brakes. It's kind of a weird sensation if it's not done right. But we just pulled out in front of a Civic, and there's 50. Like, you don't need the all-wheel. The all-wheel drive does 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds. It's very, very fast. I'm going to say this will do 0 to 60 in probably about 6.5 seconds. So in my opinion, it's still a very quick car. Honestly, it's probably faster than an RX 350 with the turbo. I want to say those do 0 to 60 in about 7 seconds. So this is more responsive. It's a better city car than probably any Lexus in America. I would say, like the NX hybrid's excellent. The UX hybrids are really good city car. But the UX hybrid actually can cost more than the base RZ 300E. And that to me is bonkers. It has a nice sound to it as well. Now, if I put it into sport mode, it will pump in some fake sound. And I don't have a digital rearview mirror on this luxury trim, but the ride quality in here is so much better than that Equinox EV that I was in this week. Again, it's a more expensive vehicle, but this sort of ride quality will be seen more than likely on the base base RZ 300e. It's just super smooth, super quiet. Now, there's not a lot of information from the press release on the base RZ. Man, these windows even close nice and soft and quietly. This has dual pane glass. I'm not 100% sure. Actually, I'm almost positive that the base model will not have the dual pane glass. It won't be quite as quiet as this, but ride quality here, just put the pedal down and it goes. Oh my goodness, very satisfying. Now we do have paddle shifters here, which give us different forms of regen. Now, what Lexus and Toyota doesn't do yet is one pedal driving. And that to me is a bit of a miss. I don't know 100% why they haven't put in one pedal driving in their EVs quite yet, but maybe they just want this car to drive exactly like a gas car, and it does very much so, except you have instant response when you press that quote-unquote gas pedal. I mean, it was always hard for me to recommend the RZ over the BZ4X. Yes, it looks better, so that helps, but it costs so much more than the BZ4X, and they're pretty much the same vehicle with different clothing. And we're going to test our fate here a little bit. Pull out in front of the bus, pedal down all the way. Oh, the bus was pulling over anyways to pick people up or drop them off. Oh my gosh. It still kind of gives you that stomach lurching effect when you're full throttle, like in a roller coaster. There's something about electric vehicles, that instant response that just kind of moves your gut in a unique, weird way, like almost like a free fall. So you have that effect here when you press the pedal down all the way, even though this is the underpowered 200 horsepower model. To me, it's all the power I would need in town. If you're doing a lot of highway, well, this is not the vehicle for you. Range is limited, even though the RZ front wheel drive is more efficient. Efficiency is great because, well, you don't have to recharge as often. And when you do recharge, your electrons go further per mile. That makes sense. All right, so I'm not going to do a full test here. I got so many other vehicles to drive, but just know that you're going to be getting, if you are smart with this vehicle, you should be able to get over 4 miles per kilowatt hour, which is some of the most efficient, at least in America, some of the most efficient EVs. And you're still getting Lexus quality, quiet, smoothness, refinement. This is Lexus's best car. Objectively, for just city driving. You guys can combat me for that. If you're taking it out of town, highway driving, road trips, range might be an issue, but if you just drive in and around your town and hardly ever take road trips, well, Lexus still has you covered. This thing still handles quite well. But they will give you a loaner vehicle, a gas loaner vehicle, if you leave town, if you own or lease a BZ4X, sorry. If you own or lease a Lexus RZ, regardless of, you get a front wheel drive or all wheel drive model. To me, I'm really charmed by the front wheel drive RZ 300e. Very potent, instant response. Oh, I missed my turn. I turned into the wrong parking lot. Okay, it exits right here, so I'm good. There's a nice like voodoo blue Tundra behind me. It's pretty cool. Anyways, I'm gonna shut it down there. Very, very good RZ here. Just absolutely smooth, quiet, no annoying noises. That's something that the Equinox EV this week had, an annoying low speed, like wah 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 spaceship thing. Absolute serene here in the RZ 300e. Get a great lease deal. Get the lease rebate, the $7,500 built into the lease. I would not buy this. Do not purchase it unless you get like a crazy deal where thousands of dollars are off. You lease the RZ, get the tax credit while it's still available, and I think many of you guys are going to absolutely love this vehicle. It's super smooth, super refined, very luxurious, and it drives great. All right, so I'll catch you guys in the next one. And well done, Lexus, by coming out with a very affordable RZ front wheel drive for our market. I will say this all-wheel drive model has a battery by Panasonic, and the base RZ 300e replaces that with a battery from CATL. You still get the same warranty from Lexus, just a different battery provider. So that might, I don't know, that wouldn't sway me from buying this. And you're not going to be able to get Mark Levinson on that base model. You'll get a base sound system, which base sound systems in Lexus models typically sound as good, if not better, than the JBL sound systems in Toyota. So, all right, I got to shut it down. Signing out from the RZ 300e.